Hello, you amazing friends. I'm here today with dietitian and exercise enthusiast and aficionado Helen Bauzon. How are you today, Helen Bauzon? What's going on?
Oh, amazing to be here with you as well, Ed. Yeah, great. Absolutely.
Oh,
Life is good. Life is good.
oh. Now, I thought we'd just dive in to a wonderful audience and to all of those watching around the world. Thank you for tuning in. You might also be watching the recording. In fact, you're probably watching the recording of this. We're streaming to LinkedIn, YouTube, and even Facebook of all things, which is really good. So good to see you. Also, make sure you like, share, comment, and connect with our friend Helen Bauzon on LinkedIn. Now, Helen Bauzon's an amazing lady. And before I tell the backstory about you and I, did you want to tell us a bit about your first Helen Bauzon before I tell backstory?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, dietitian background, always been interested in helping people make change in their life without rules. I'm anti rules, anti mandates, anti being
Yeah.
prodded and poked, just free life. And that's what I love to share with
Well,
people.
it
Have
depends who
freedom around their
it
health.
depends. It depends who prods and pokes you, right? Don't answer that. Don't answer
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
There
yeah,
you
yeah. Only one
go.
person can. Outside
There
that,
you
no.
go. There you go.
Do you know what? I'll tell you that, and I'll tell you now.
Yeah, tell us now. Just be careful what you say because I love having
Yeah,
a LinkedIn account. So just don't
yeah,
destroy my
yeah. No,
LinkedIn
no, no.
account.
It's all good. Absolutely. Um, it was fun. A week or so ago, I went out for dinner with a family. We were talking about relationships and so forth. And I made the
Yeah.
comment, I'm not bossy. And everyone just laughed. Everyone
What?
just laughed. I went, what do
Oh yeah.
you mean? I'm not
And,
bossy.
and you're not Greek and you're not female. Okay, continue.
Oh, it
Continue.
was so funny. And then my son's girlfriend goes, I go, what do you think, Lily? And she goes, well, Helen, no, you're not bossy, but you are the boss. I
You're
go,
good bossy. You,
yes. I go,
you're,
what do
you're,
you mean? What do
you're
you
good
mean?
bossy.
And he goes, well, Steve thinks my husband, he's going to get a nice big motorbike in Bali when you next go. But you know that he's not. I go, yeah, that's true. So, okay, I'm a bit bossy then. Anyway, just a bit of fun. Strong
But it's
personalities
your
work for us.
but it's your strong personality. Like I would, okay, fair enough. So I wouldn't call you bossy, but I'll say you're a great boss because I would say it's your strong personality that has led you through your fitness transformation. Now,
Yeah,
tell us about your fitness transformation, Helen, because I have my own
yeah.
thoughts, which I've said many times publicly, but I want to hear it from you first.
No, absolutely. It's been a bit of a journey, always been fit, always running to maintain my weight. Marathon runs, my first half marathon after my third child, age 32. And then the good old 40s hit and things started to change.
Yeah.
Been hit by all angles, didn't really understand at that point what was going on. So I kept on running, did weights, but I kept on running and the weight kept on increasing. And it took me down a little rabbit warren of what's going on. And I am really excited now to understand understand what happens during perimenopause. So 40 years and up, and how you can tweak your lifestyle to get your health back, because that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I
But
was
it's
really
just all
overweight.
that. Just reacting to that, and you were, which we'll come back to. But the thing is that I know you talked about this in the context of women and menopause, but I'm a dude, obviously, and I'm 48 at this time of recording. Obviously, I don't have menopause unless I identify with that. Just kidding. But I'm a right winger, don't worry. But the thing is that I don't have menopause and I don't expect to get menopause, but I've gone through the same thing. When I sort of hit early 40s, I ballooned out as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know you're talking about this in the context of menopause, but I know plenty of dudes 40 and above with the same problem. It might be
Yeah.
for different reasons, but we got the same problem.
Yeah, it's different reasons, similar problems in the sense of, metabolism changing, stress, life, the impact on the hormones that gain weight. And it's just a bit of a tweak to be prodded in the right direction to get the results that you're after. So that kind of prodding's okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, so it's been exciting. I went through a bit of a struggle because I tried a few things, some naturopathic herbs that made me gain a lot of weight as I was trying to deal with other elements. And I got to the point where I went, no, I'm just going to stop that and focus on the new research through Dr. Stacey Sims about how an older female should train and eat. And over a 10 to 11 month time frame, getting my health back, just the last 100-meter sprint to go. And yes, feeling like I'm 16 years old again, even though I'm 54. And
Wow.
so, yeah, what used to work no longer works. And it only makes you feel worse and gain weight and lose vitality because of things happening at the cell level. So what happens at us at around 40 up? It happens with the guys in context, just that little bit older, but we all go through that same phase of losing fast twitch muscles, losing muscle mass, but we can outwork it and stay strong once you know.
Yeah, amazing. Because the way, bit of trivia for the audience, Helen Bauzon Ed, we go back, is it 10? It must be 9 or 10 years, right? It'll be a while now, right?
Time flies.
Yeah, I'm going to say we go back the last decade. If it's not the last decade, we'd be close to that, right? So definitely the last decade. And I knew Helen when she was a bit larger. I won't say plus, but I'll say the plus size Helen, right? Nothing wrong with that, but I knew plus size Helen.
Yes.
Now, the Helen I know, and for example, so a bit of context, Helen lives in Melbourne, and I see Helen usually once a month when I fly down from Sydney, Melbourne, and when I give the hello hug to Helen, used to be like a squishy character. Now it feels like a steel girder wrapped in a piece of fabric. So you'll feel Helen's clothes, then you'll just feel like a piece of metal beneath it, right? And I'm not the only one noticing, because your health transformation was so damn good. A lot of people, including myself, was asking questions, because the thing was, to me, I've been mostly slim my whole life, right? And about 3 years ago, I just ballooned. I just turned into basically a fat guy, which was never what I wanted to do. And I couldn't get out of it. And it was yourself, actually. Yourself, input from Lassie and a few other people, mostly yourself, saying, the problem is you need to actually build muscle. Like, you're going about the wrong way. Because I was walking and doing this cardio. And I was just getting bigger and bigger. The moment I hit the gym and started doing weights, I actually started losing fat very quickly. Can you sort of give some context and explain why that happened to me?
Well, I would love to. Can I ask you a question first?
Shoot.
In context of answering your question, because this is the struggle that most people go through, which is, what was holding you back from introducing the weights? And focusing on the cardio? Because it took quite a few conversations. So what was holding you back? And then I'll explain.
Yeah, I'm going to say something terrible, which is, I'm quite ashamed about what I'm about to say, but this might sound awful. And I can't believe I used to think that, but I felt intimidated by going to the gym. So because, and I know, because I wasn't looking good, I felt nervous going to the gym. It was getting over that hump, because, like, when you're looking fit and fabulous, it's so easy wandering into the gym. But when you're sort of chubby and starting out and weak, walking into the gym is like, jumping over an ocean. It was that level of discomfort that kept me out of the gym. That's
a shame. Good old society, isn't it? And how we feel. Yeah. And it's also the internal interpretation of what we see people as to how they look at us. Now, they might not be thinking that. If I go to the 1,000 stairs or I'm exercising and I see a really overweight individual, I actually think, good on you. And I purposely grab their eyes and give them a smile. I remember once when I was doing the 1,000 stairs and the kids were younger, my youngest at the time may have been only 12. And he said to me, Mama, why is that lady walking? She's so big. I said, because she wants to get healthy, and that's amazing. He goes, yeah, okay. Because in his head, he's thinking, you're so big, it's hard. What are you doing? Whereas I turned it around. So it's also, when we are self-conscious, we misinterpret society's messages and how people look at us as well. And that can hold us back. So thank you for opening up about that, because that's really important to share with others, because it's a common problem. And yes, absolutely, as Ali's saying, congratulations, Ed, to move on and get comfortable as well. Because the weights is like looking at the size of an engine. You have a V8 Ford or you have a little mini Minor. When you have a little mini Minor and we do lots of cardio, the engine doesn't burn as much fuel. Whereas when we move towards a V8, we can only do that by growing more muscle, which needs that resistance and that external stress with fuel to actually grow. So 1 kilo of muscle is small and 1 kilo of fat is quite large. And the more little blocks, the more calories you burn, the more bulk that you lose. So you actually reduce in size and often don't change that much on the scales depending where your journey is. And that's the reason why you've seen the change and you've shrunk. And when we do meet up at the Pullman in Melbourne, when you have your in-person network meetings, we do have a bit of a joke and always, compare and do the, nice, strong.
Yeah.
I'll ask you, Ed, how do you feel now? What's the difference in the way you carry yourself, your strength from 3 years ago when you were doing cardio to now a combination? What's different in your life?
Well, it's great that you asked that, because that brings us to the title of this live stream where I've said changing your life. And I've been having this conversation a lot with people, and I say this to the audience, is that what's interesting, it's been about a year and a bit, let's just say 1 year for argument's sake, I've been into like sort of the daily-ish gym sort of experience. And the thing that I've found is that when you start walking this sort of gym or muscle journey, it's not just about building muscles, it actually changes your whole life, because what's actually happened is your interests change, your habits change, people treat you differently, right? Because you look different. The other thing that's interesting is that I have a lot of friends and people in my life that I met through that environment. So it's not just and what it is that when you go to the gym, you actually change your mindset. In fact, can I go on a segue here? I actually did a bit of research yesterday on why going to a good gym actually changes your mind from the inside out. Do you want to hear about the findings of my research?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, what I did was I was at the gym thinking about this live stream, thinking about Helen Bauzon, and I'd love to hear your reactions on that one. And what I did was I actually jumped on Elon Musk's Grok, right, to actually do a bit of research, and actually said, I go to Anytime Fitness, Lane Cove, Sydney, blah, blah, blah. Every time I go to the gym, I feel like it's changing my mindset somewhat. I actually put that into Grok and did a whole research on it. And it said quite a few different things that were quite interesting. Number one, it said good gyms, and I say good gym environments, are actually built in a certain way to actually change the way you think and feel about yourself. You have the mirrors, you have the coloring, you have the lights, you have music played at a certain tempo. You're surrounded by a lot of fit and attractive people. So you being in that environment actually changes your mindset at a subconscious level, point one. So the actual environment has a transformative change on you while you're there. And secondly, as well, what happens is you start meeting new people that are quite fit and attractive, and their influence on you changes that. And then the third thing as well is people start treating you differently as you improve physically, because what's happened to me quite a few times at the gym is people, and I just play along with it. It's funny. People think I work there and they start asking me gym questions, and I don't lie, but I don't correct their incorrect mistake. And I just pretend I'm an employee, and the manager knows I do it. He thinks it's funny. I said, oh yeah, you got this, and that. And what are you doing today? You're doing cardio, a bit of resistance. And I just play along. Oh, you're doing a bit of weights, so you got this, and this. And then people come to me later and apologize, saying, oh my God, I didn't know you worked here. I'm so sorry. Right. But but what I want to set you up with is that building muscle doesn't just build muscle. It actually changes your whole life. And I'd love to hear your deep dive into that one, Helen Bauzon.
No, it's huge. And what you're experiencing and describing is the power of community, the power of being around like-minded. And when you get that feel of doing a little bit and then you want more, and if you don't do it, you feel different, your mental clarity is different, Your belonging is different if you don't go to the gym. And then the environment's got to be very, very comfortable. And it still comes back to that self-belief and that self-opinion. Because if someone is weak, it's very easy for them to sway away from it. And so there's a little bit of, body image. If someone's had a bad week in their mind and they've overeaten and they feel like they've gained a lot of weight, which they haven't, but they feel very different, they won't go to the gym. However, if there is that community there of like-minded, there's a level of accountability and the environment's comfortable, they'll go, that's okay. And they'll go back and do something than nothing. So I think, yes. So you can go into some gyms, which I have been, and they're full of guys groaning and moaning and dropping weights. Yeah, not keen.
Full of meatheads.
Yes.
Not a fan.
It's a great research that you found, and I would totally agree with it as well. And it's really important to maintain that momentum. So how often would you go to the gym now?
Well, what was interesting, and we're going to answer this great user's question on the screen in a moment, is so I started going to the gym every second day. Now I go, if unless I'm traveling or something, or I'm like working long hours, I actually go to the gym every day if I can.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is I don't have to go there. I want to go there. So I'm not pushing myself to go there. I feel like I'm being pulled there. And this brings me to the key question. And I want to throw this one at you because
Sure.
you're way deeper into this topic than me.
Okay.
And a great question. And apologies, StreamYard doesn't always tell us who the user is. So apologies. Now feel free to identify yourself. Not sure who it is, but the question is this from one of our great users. Thank you. What is the difference between a good gym and having your own private gym at home, which is better? I have my own thoughts, but your thoughts are way more deep on this one. So please answer that question, Helen, before I open my mouth.
Okay, there's a few layers to this. The first layer is someone who's starting off for the very, very first time, doesn't know what to do. There's some basic YouTube clips for free. You can start with body weight. But once you start looking at lifting heavier and getting a little bit more formal with it, highly encourage you, engage someone to coach you the correct technique. Yeah. If that's at home and you've got Dynabands or weights to get you started, pay for that small investment. Otherwise, you'll injure yourself and it will work against you. So a home gym is fine. I found the home gym got me to a certain point, and then I needed to go to the gym to lift heavier, to perform different exercises. But a home gym is fine. You just got to be instructed on the right technique. If you haven't done any weights and you're going to the gym for the first time, start with the machines. Get the PT to show the machine, set it up correctly, you're in the right position, your chances of injury are less. And then you can move and progress to what we call compound exercise. For example, a squat and an upper shoulder lift. So you can exercise multiple muscle groups, which then means a workout for me that used to take an hour and 15, I'm now done in half an hour. And it's a full body workout because we've built up to something called compound exercise. Compounding multiple muscle groups at the one time. So that would be my general recommendation. Start light, get the technique, increase the intensity. And for the older female, older male as well, we're looking at 4 reps to 6. That really wakes up things at a neural and a medical level. Got to do with blood pressure, cholesterol, visceral fat. So we're looking at that really high intensity. But to get that muscle growth, there's 2 things. You need to have abundance of fuel or food for every day, and then abundance of fuel for training. So we view ourselves as an elite athlete from that perspective to maximize working out at home or at the gym. So home is fine, absolutely fine, and plenty. You don't need to go to the gym. but I wanted to go for more the social element as well for me, similar to you, Ed. Yeah.
And just reacting, that was Vin, by the way. Great to see you, Vin. And Vin also said, great answer. Thank you, Helen. I appreciate it. I'm currently using a home gym for evening sessions, using the traditional going to a gym for AM. So it's Vinny Prasad. Good to see you, Vinny. Vinny's one of my great friends. So Vinny's doing a hybrid of both. There you go. So, and I just realized Vinny's short name is Vin, like Vin Diesel. So I just got to point that. I just realized that. There you go. I love Vin Diesel. There you go. I love Vin Diesel.
How about you, Ed? Have you ever done weights at home?
Well, the answer is yes, and it failed badly because, and I actually spoke to quite a few people on this topic in the industry, including yourself, right, off camera. And here's the problem, because I know so many people who have home gyms, and the home gyms are attracting dust, building cobwebs, and it's not working out too well, right?
Yeah.
And when I explore that, and I hear this reaction, goes, Ed, I just don't feel like it. I just don't get in the mood. Because what's interesting, and a big plug here for Anytime Fitness. I'm a member of Anytime Fitness. Anytime Fitness not paying me or giving me money, but they're very welcome to pay me and give me money. So if anyone's watching for Anytime Fitness, any money, the money's fine. So I'm not shilling for Anytime Fitness, but I'd be honored to shill for Anytime Fitness, right? So great gym. Because and this is a bit I've been looking into, is that when you go to, and I'm saying a decent gym, not a shitty gym, when you go to a decent gym, the actual whole environment is designed to subconsciously enable you to get into it. So, for example, if I'm sitting around home, I'll feel relaxed and tired. If I walk into the gym, the purple lighting, the intense lighting, the music, people running around, it gives you that subconscious boost and energizing. And also, too, you talk to people at the gym, you make friends at the gym, and you start saying hello to people. So what I find interesting about the gym is I have, and again, going into the psychology of it, is that my subconscious mind sees going to the gym as a positive experience. And because it does, I don't have to go to the gym. I am pulled to the gym. It's like, I want you to go there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Helen?
I think that's great. You're a very strong individual, and similar to me, I thrive on it. I keep it simple. There are still people who, where you were initially struggling to go, still prefer to work from home.
Yep.
And then what I say to that, to get that feeling that you have that you want to go, is accountability of training with someone at home. So last night I trained, my friend and I trained twice at home, Monday and Wednesday nights, and it was freezing in Melbourne. I had my Audi on, my Moccos on, and I took a video of it and I posted on socials because that's what life is about. Yeah. If she didn't come, I wouldn't have trained. So again, It's that environment, that social element that you were talking about as well.
Yeah, and I find that interesting because what happened to me, I don't want to spend too much time focusing on this part because it's a bit of a negative. But what happened to me was before I discovered the glory of Anytime Fitness and became a zealot, I went to just like a local gym nearby, right at the start, and it was the opposite. It was a very negative gym in that it was full of very judgmental people, right? It's a very toxic. I'm not the only guy who thinks this is I found this out, of course, afterwards. But it's a very toxic gym. A lot of people know about it. A lot of people have had bad experiences there. And what happened was I was there for about maybe 10 weeks, give or take. And then I had the final bad experience. And then I just had enough, instantly tore up my membership with them. And Anytime Fitness was just around the corner. So I just ran into Anytime Fitness. I actually told Anytime Fitness the whole story. And their response was, Ed, you're the third person this week to run in here saying this, right?
There you go.
You're not the only one. And what was interesting is that when you find a good environment surrounded by good people, it pulls you in. Because the thing that I found interesting is when I started Anytime Fitness is everyone was so welcoming and there was no negative judgment for the position I was in.
Yeah. So important.
Yeah. And even so at the Anytime Fitness I go to, I see it all the time. You'll see people, either, let's say they're too fat or too skinny, basically one of the two, right? Here's what happens when you start the gym. I make a personal note to be very welcoming, but everyone's just so welcoming. And I'm like, if I see someone who's too skinny or really overweight at the gym, I'm actually quite happy for them, because I tell you what, if you're really skinny or too big and out of shape, it can be quite intimidating rocking to the gym. I couldn't agree with you more.
Absolutely. And good on them. And it's, just giving them a look, giving them a smile. When you see them each time, you just catch their eye and smile. It's enough just to encourage people to keep coming back. And that's the environment which makes a big difference, definitely. And I find the older I get, when you go to the gym and you see these young girls and it looks like they're in their lingerie training and you can see bits here and bits there.
Just reacting to all that. Women of all ages do that. So at the gym I go to, women of all ages. I'm trying to remember that we're on LinkedIn. Their Lorna Jane and Lululemon outfits do not leave much to the imagination. So there you go. So I just try and bury myself on my phone as much as I can. There you go.
Correct. I always like to push the boundaries. So I just go in a baggy tracksuit, baggy jumper sometimes, just depending. I can't be bothered. I just go. And no one looks at me differently. It's funny. So it's good. But yeah, I was going to say that sometimes gyms can be lots of fun.
Yes.
You meet different people. You try crazy things. You watch people do crazy things on some machines and you think, oh, don't injure yourself.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you a funny little story, because when I was getting into the new exercise regime, it's all about really, really 100% capacity, high intensity, 30 seconds and 2-minute rest. And I was trying different machines, different equipment to get to that intensity and get the heart rate up. As you do. Push the boundaries.
As you do. Yeah.
If you can visualize this, I was on the Stairmaster. Luckily, I had a hat on. And I went, okay, this is the button to press to go faster. And this is the button to press to stop. So I'm on. So the steps are going and I can't lift my head up because I'll misstep. And I'm going, what do I do now? I can't stop and I'm going too fast. I'm going to fall off. So I'm trying to hit 100% capacity. So I looked up to press that button and then obviously I misstepped and fell and I was hanging.
Oh, God.
And I was hanging and the stairs are going and I looked to
like
the
a
right,
cartoon almost. Was it like a cartoon, was it?
Absolutely. There was a guy next to me just looking at me and I'm looking at him for help. He didn't do anything. So I looked back. Luckily, I had my hat on and I hit that red button with my hat.
Wow.
Pulled the shoulder. So I always say, give yourself 8 to 12 months to hit the intensity. Just increase it slowly. Don't be silly like me and injure yourself.
And just on that, I say this to people, right? Because and it was funny actually. I was talking to one of my friends I'll just say one of my friends in Queensland. So I don't, but it is a dude. So and it's not anyone listening. I was talking to one of my male friends in Queensland, and he's quite competitive, right? He's quite competitive, and he was making fun of me when I got a little bit fat, which is totally fine, right? Absolutely fine, right? I'm totally
really.
cool with that.
I'm sorry. It's not.
However, oh, did the tables turn, dear Helen Bauzon, right? So he's now super porky and I started getting super fit, right? So the tables turned. And I'm not the sort of guy to rub stuff. I'm not like that. I'm just not that sort of character. But I did say to him, look, I'm beating you. Why don't you go back to the gym? What's the problem? Like, what's the issue? Like, and I just said to him straight, look, I like you. I'm on your side. Why are you doing this to yourself? You know what he said to me? But Ed, I don't have enough time to do 6 2-hour sessions every week. And I'm like, what? What's wrong with you? I said, why don't you just go to the gym once a week? That's all you need. And then he said, oh, Ed, but if I just go to the gym once a week, it's not really a good effort. I don't feel like I'm achieving anything. And I said, but you're going 0 times a week. 1 time a week is better than 0 times a week. It's that whole, unless I can train like Vin Diesel or, Nicole Kidman or Brad Pitt, going to the gym's not worth it. It's that overtraining mentality. Tell us a bit about that.
Oh, 100%. It's the perfectionism mentality.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
on or off.
Yeah.
So in their mind, well, if I don't go 3 times a week or 2 hours a
He
week,
said, if I can't do 6 2-hour sessions a week, it's not worth it. And I'm like, I know friends who work. I know friends who are actors in TV. They don't work out that much, and that's what I said to him.
yeah, no, don't need to work out that much by any means. And so it's that preconceived idea of what's expected to get results, the mindset of perfectionism, of being on or off, doing everything really perfectly or not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I can see a comment from Rob, I can't stop now unless I die.
Yeah.
The business is for life. So yeah, it's once it's in, and I always say, keep a pinky on the pie, meaning just do something, then nothing.
Because I was just going to say on that note, couldn't agree with you more. Going once a week to the gym actually is a lot.
It's great. It's great. It gives momentum. If you just start slowly, do something small at home, like a push-up, a squat, alone, and that's it. And then you go to the gym and you increase and you do more. And then eventually, like I was saying earlier, you can do compound exercises. Half an hour, you're done. And the older you get, you need to do fewer reps. So you don't need to do 12, 10, 15. It's fewer reps, higher intensity, so that we can start fixing things at a cell level for longevity. And that's where now the weights and the exercise and the cardio, as we get older, we need to start thinking about it from a healing perspective, from the inside out. So once a week is amazing, because better than nothing. Absolutely.
There you go. Now, love your work, Helen. Now, I was just going to say, we've been here for about 32 minutes and 7 seconds. It's great having you with us, Helen. We're going to wind up shortly. So I was just going to say to anyone watching live, if you've got any questions or thoughts, pop them in the LinkedIn chat and we'll process them. If you are watching the recording, please reach out to Helen Bauzon or myself anytime. Now, what I want to finish up with, Helen Bauzon, because this is what I want to aim this sort of live stream to. I want to aim it to people who they know they're unhealthy, they know they're not doing the right thing. I want to aim at the sort of beginner, the outside person who hasn't made the jump yet. And what I'd love for you to sort of give us a monologue on is for someone who's not going to the gym, for someone who's quite unhealthy, for someone who's old. I mean, I'm 48, you're 52. Congratulations, right? 54, there you go. Oh my God, 54, there you go. I hope I look like you when I'm 54. There you go.
You will.
Not a bad talk, yeah. I won't wait. I'll have less than halfway. But for someone who's older and unhealthy and they're on the outside, what can you say to them to help them take that step and get into it? So basically, what can you say to them that you could have said to me a year ago to help me get started?
The simplest thing to do is appreciate the power of making small little adjustments and growing it. If you feel really tired, you haven't got momentum, you haven't got the funds, you can't be bothered, there's 2 things I would suggest. Number 1, sleep in some, well, you don't have to. You're in your pajamas, go to the toilet, wake up, empty your bladder, and go into the lounge or go into the porch and do some step-ups. It's amazing how that little small change, you will feel different that same day. Because if we're really stressed and it's chronically cortisol overloaded, if we actually do too much exercise, it can just stress the body out even more. So just start really small. That's a tiny little bit of a cardio. You won't feel pain. It's not excruciating uncomfortable, and it's doable. Okay. Try and do that for 3 or 4 minutes every morning, because otherwise, people who have an on or off mentality will want to go, well, if I'm not walking for half an hour, well, there's no point. If I'm not going to the gym, there's no point. Well, I'm saying use a step in your house or just step up and down on the spot in your pajamas. I say keep the girls up, hold them up, and just go for it. Don't worry about it. Don't create barriers. And then
Yeah.
within 2 weeks, find a free YouTube clip online by a PT or a physio and do some basic body weight training. That's it. Start that basic and give yourself a year to really find your rhythm of hitting the intensity that you need, because you'll get medical benefits in those little changes that accumulate to more. It's just getting started.
Oh, got it. And on that note, let's say someone's watching and they're like, you know what, I want to go back to the gym, or I want to try the gym. What's your suggestions? Obviously, I'm team Anytime Fitness, but what's your suggestions on finding the right gym, and how do you get started with a gym if someone feels like doing that gym transition?
Okay. If you like the support of a personal trainer but can afford it, do that. If you like the support of a personal trainer but like to be in the gym environment, then there is something called Kaiser Gym, and that's run by physiotherapists, Keiser. It's a very comfortable gym. And then if you go, oh, I'm good to be on my own, then just look at a gym that's closest to your home.
Yep.
Pay for 1 or 2 gym sessions with a trainer, just to get familiar with the equipment, the environment, and drag a friend with you.
Oh, gotcha. And I find a lot of gyms these days, especially during winter, they'll give you like a free month. And quite often, if you do join the gym, they give you a stack of free PT sessions included. So when I joined Anytime Fitness, they said, hey, and by the way, you've got 2 free 1-hour PT sessions. Do you want them? And I just said, no, thanks. Well, I didn't need them, so I knew what I was doing, being ex-military. But I find a lot of gyms, they'll throw on a free PT or session or 2 once they get you on the books.
So yeah, you use that as a nice warm introduction. So for someone who, is really struggling, needs to get started from ground zero, there's some suggestions. And if I then put it back to you, Ed, when you weren't feeling your best, what was a tweak for you to get the ball rolling with the walking, and then eventually to go to the gym, like you said, to get over that emotional? But how did you get the ball rolling? Just to put a personal side to it.
Yeah, well, it's actually yourself and Lassie were fantastic in that your influence. So you guys so a lot of you were all saying to me, hey, Ed, we like you, but Ed, you're not looking as good as you can be. It was that continual niggling away at me that eventually got me, right? Got me. But what was interesting, what was holding me back, this is what was holding me back, because I was fat and unhealthy, I was too subconscious to go into the gym environment.
Yeah.
Whereas I find, so 2 things, exactly what Helen says. Select a really good gym, number 1, right? And what you can do on Google as well is the gym you look at, you can see the Google reviews, you can review it, but find one with a really good environment. And B, just have a chat to them, because, and what was the gym that you talked about again? I'm not familiar with that. The rehab or physio gym was.
The Kaiser Gym. I went there when I had really bad back problems. Keiser. They're run by physios.
Yeah, it's funny you say it, because I think I walked past one the other day. It's kind of grey. Is it grey and blue? Is that right?
Yes. It's got a clinical feel to it. So I loved it when I first started a gym, because it was just in and out. There wasn't loud music. There's no music. It's very clinical without a hospital feel. And I liked that, because I wanted to be in and out. I didn't want the grunting and the moaning in the background. And from there,
or the younger ladies not leaving much to one's imagination.
Yes. So it's a great gym to get started, really, particularly if you've got a few joint issues and stuff.
Yeah, does that make sense? Just on that, because that's called a rehab gym, isn't it? Like if you got an injury, especially, that's where Kaiser would be the best. Yeah, got it.
It is, but you can still go for any reason. It's just got a different feel. Yes.
Okay. I thought so. I walked past one the other day and I thought, that looks very professional. So I thought, that's very professional. And I just carried on. I thought that's a very, like a total rehab gym.
See the tone that it offers you, the professional. It's just simple to the point. Just machines, no free weights.
Yeah, whereas I want purple, bright lights, taking selfies, all the stuff that
Music.
makes all I want the whole LinkedIn take selfie experience. So there you go.
Correct. Correct.
There
Ah,
you go.
link share, please. Yes, I will put that in the link when the video goes up.
Got it.
I
Check it
assume
out.
that's for the keys to the gym.
Yeah, keys. Because it's funny you say it because that's another, and I don't have this problem, so just apologies for my insensitivity on this one. Yes, if you do have an injury, which I didn't, that actually sounds really good. Because I will say this: if you got an injury, probably going to any time is not a good move. I think the rehab gym sounds fantastic, especially if they're physios. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so you go, you have an assessment with the physio. So the reason I went was because my back kept on going out, so it was ridiculous. I was one of those
Was that
grumpy
an
ones.
so was that an old injury or something? What was the back trouble you had?
Bit of scoliosis, and then having 3 kids in 5 years, the body
Oh
just never
God,
went back. Yeah.
that'll do it. That'll do
And
it.
I was
Oh,
told, just keep on exercising, and when it hurts, stop. And that was the worst advice. And then it got to the point where every time I got dressed, my back would go out. So I
oh
decided to
God.
go to the Kaiser gym. Within 3 months, I was running again. That was back in my 30s. So that's what I mean by the machines lock you in to limit injuries.
Yeah,
Because I
gotcha.
wanted to do the program from home, and they said, no, you're not strong enough. Start here and then progress.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it was
Gotcha.
a great, great,
Yeah,
great gym.
I'm curious. So you got Keyser Gym if you need rehab or you got an injury, or you've got like the mainstream gyms like your Fitness First Anytimes or your local gym, whatever you're into.
Yeah, mainstream. There's also other gyms called EFM. EFM is a small group personal training. So every time you go, there's a trainer there. They've got 3 allocated time slots that you can go.
Yeah,
That's an option as well. That's a blend of all gyms. And so I would say Kaiser EFM would give you a lot of accountability. And then the larger gyms, we put that accountability more on ourselves to get
gotcha.
there.
Helen, thank you so much. I never thought a year ago, a year later, I'd be a big LinkedIn guy talking about, yeah, gotta go to the gym, gotta do weights. Yeah, I'm Helen Bauzon and I'm lifting.
Well, very proud of you, Ed. It was,
Thank you.
we just keep on motivating each other. And it's a journey. The older we get, it changes, and we've got to change our game plan. And it's just great to mix with like-minded. So thank you as well.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And just before we finish up, and thank you everyone for tuning in. So you're a dietitian.
Yes.
Even though you're not a personal trainer per se, you've got personal training qualifications and everything.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about what you do professionally and how people can hire you and how you can help them.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. So yes, dietitian, focusing on helping you manage your weight diet-free. So eat a little of everything guilt-free, with a specialty in the weight loss surgery and the GLP-1 injections for those who need that extra support.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, really, really passionate about helping that perimenopausal, menopausal female within a few weeks start feeling different and get the right advice. So that, it gives me oxygen, Ed. I love it.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. And you're based in my old home city of Melbourne,
Yes.
which is great. What part of town of Melbourne you're in?
Southeast suburbs.
Ooh, there you go. You're in the
Yeah.
southeast suburbs. So obviously you look after clients in Melbourne, but also too you can look after clients nationally as well, of course, overseas.
Yes, nationally and internationally with telehealth and the online workshops that I run for weight management, older female. And do you know what, Ed? I'm going back to my business coaching and bringing that back into it now, because people I've come across just need that kind of help. So yeah, I help people also with the messaging to communicate to their ideal client, their niche, to get warm leads in the morning in their inbox automatically. So now I combine the two as well. So health and wealth.
There you go. I gotta say, I love our evolution. You're like full health and wealth, and I've gone full on crazy LinkedIn influencer networking leader, sit in airports all day. So it's funny. It's funny how we've all found our direction and gone that way.
We have, and that's pivoting, and that's life, and you find your way, and you've got to test the waters. But what I find with you and myself, because we're here today and those listening, when you find your passion, you find what you're good at, you'll always come back to that. And
Oof.
it's just, you got to go through the journey. And I
Yeah.
would say, Ed, your consistency and passion in supporting, and in my journey, I worked very closely with you for a 6-month time frame, which increased my confidence. And that was a very pivotal moment in my life where I used to be scared of, I haven't got it here, but making calls.
I remember that actually. You used to be afraid of
Yes.
sales like I used to be. It's
Yes.
funny even saying that now. Like it's
Yes.
just, it's like you're definitely not the old you and I
No.
we're definitely not the old people we were like 5 years ago or whatever.
No. So what I now do now is if I'm going to call someone, I lock a time in. I say,
Ooh.
what time suits you? 1:30, alarm on the phone. I call them at 1:30. They're expecting. There's no, phone tagging, and you outdo your old little annoying habits.
Oh,
So
there
that's
you
good.
go.
Well,
There
again,
you go.
congratulations on your journey, Ed. It's an absolute pleasure just to stay in contact all the time as well. So thank you for today too.
Oh, pleasure. So big thank you. So all friends around the world, thank you for watching. Like, share, comment. Again, best thing to do is reach out to Helen Bauzon over LinkedIn, the best platform ever. And there you go. So Helen, I just want to say on behalf of all of us and our audience, you are a legend. Thank you so much, Helen.
Oh, thanks, Ed.
All right.
Talk
Stay
soon.
awesome and keep winning, friends. Love your
Bye.
work.